Hi, this week on Title Talk, we're going to talk about landlord-tenant issues, something we received a lot of calls on this week.
I'm David Velez, closer extraordinaire here at Title Leap.
And I'm James Brown, Florida real estate attorney and founder of Title Leap.
So Jim, tenant-landlord issues seems to be a pretty hot topic lately, especially with the beginning of the new year. People will move in and signing leases and whatnot.
Lots of annual leases. Landlord-tenant is a popular topic among realtors. It's not glamorous work. I think all realtors would agree. You do it to make relationships. You do it to fill the slow times. You do it to go out and meet new people. You do it to service old clients. But I think everybody would agree it's a lot of work for not a lot of money. And there's a ton of misinformation on the topic that realtors operate under. Every time they do transactions, I get calls. Realtors have a certain idea of how the way the law works,
right,
and it's very different from how it is in real life.
Okay, so like if, I'm renting a place, I'm a tenant somewhere, and, toilet breaks. What are my processes of getting the landlord to remedy this? Can I withhold rent, or how does all that work exactly?
Ironic that you said the toilet. That was the call of a realtor over the last week, and 2 toilets in the unit. 1 toilet broke. There's 2 categories of issues. There's issues that render the unit untenantable, and then there's issues that are landlord's breach of their duty.
Okay.
So if you have 2 toilets, generally everybody would agree it's not an untenantable unit, but it is a breach of the landlord's duty to provide utilities and safe and habitable living environment. So the tenant's duty is to give a 7-day written notice to landlord of the defect of the breach.
Okay.
And then the landlord has 7 days to make the repair. And if they don't make the repair, the tenant in their notice lets the landlord know they're going to use that portion of the rent to make the repairs themselves and not pay that portion, not pay for those repairs in their next installment of rent.
So in other words, the tenant sends a letter to the landlord. Landlord has 7 days. Landlord does nothing. The tenant can fix it themselves, get it fixed themselves, withhold it from the rent.
I explained it a little overly complicated. Exactly. And then what happens is that's a defense. So then at the next rental due date, if the landlord claims that the tenant didn't pay the full rent with a 3-day notice, then that would be a defense that the tenant could use and blunt the landlord's claim that they didn't pay full rent.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's all by statute, and I can give you the statute number if you want to call. We can talk about it further, but that is what you do if the place is not tenantable. Is tenantable. If it's not tenantable, so let's say both toilets are broken.
Okay.
The law says that you have to give written notice in the same manner and 20 days notice, and the landlord has 20 days to fix. And if they don't fix, then the tenant can breach the lease. They can leave the lease.
Oh, so they can just walk away from the place.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
So if it's untenantable, you give 20 days written notice by certified mail to the landlord. And if the landlord doesn't fix within 20 days, you can breach the lease. Again, this is what's called a defense because you're not paying any more rent. You're leaving the lease. The landlord would sue you for failure to pay rent, and you would show up and tell the judge, we gave him the notice.
So realtors, if you have clients who are having issues like this, whether they're tenants who need their property repaired and the landlord's not performing, or if it's a landlord and they need defense on something similar, give us a call. We can definitely help.
And thanks for watching this week's Title Talk with Title Leap, where we are all about empowering agents with the tools to succeed.
Hit subscribe and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And please be sure to keep up to date on our weekly content.